Hey Larry, how you doing? I'm still trying to figure out how to use StreamYard because I don't use it that much because some people don't want their comments on the screen. Before I get to the topic, I was thinking, okay, wouldn't it be nice if when you go to a gas station nowadays and the gas station attendant asked you if you want your oil checked? Then another thing I was thinking of, it'd be really funny to see on TV. Imagine Donald Trump in an SUV chasing Barack Obama in a white Ford Bronco. I'm trying to figure out how to do this with the banner. Yeah, I'm not as good as 101 at Bushcraft. Hey, I've been thinking, okay, with what's been going on in the world, hey, Joe Carroll Dodds, you figure, look at it like this. There's FCC laws, federal laws. If the news, they were supposed to report factual news. If any of the people in the mainstream media knew for a fact that they were reporting that Trump colluded with Putin, okay, that's a violation of FCC laws. If people start being charged in this country for criminal things, I think that everyone in the mainstream media that went along with this ought to be prosecuted. Everyone in the mainstream media. Well, okay, I got to figure out how to get rid of this banner thing. You figure that they basically perpetuated a fraud on the American people. How the heck do you take this banner off? I still can't figure out what I'm doing here. I'm going back and forth to YouTube. Yeah, wouldn't it be funny if Trump was chasing Barack Obama in the white Ford Bronco? Hey, give me a minute here. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this. It says use banners. I don't want that to really show up on the thing. Like when I'm on somebody's show, they really can't show me how to change stuff. Let's see here. But I would love to see the whole mainstream media go down. I'm clicking back and forth going to YouTube. Okay, nobody's comments are showing up on the screen. That's what I wanted to avoid. Trying to figure out how to get rid of this. Okay, I figured it out. Yeah, since nobody went live tonight, I thought, okay, I got rid of it. I think we need to see the whole mainstream media go downhill, go be indicted. You figure, okay, look what they did to poor Donald Trump. With everything going on in this country, my biggest concern now is we're going to see people acting up. And okay, look at it like this. I like Dan Bongino, but he was Secret Service to the Clintons. Dan Bongino had to have some idea of what was really going on within, the Clinton inner circle. You're absolutely right, Joe Girl. None of us are perfect. I'm the first to admit that I'm far from perfect. But I would love to see the mainstream media get indicted. Look at it like this: all these people in the mainstream media, they're making big salaries. They ought to be sweating bullets. If they get indicted, they're going to have to start spending a lot of money to defend themselves. I'm Marla B. I was telling everyone earlier that I would love to see Trump chasing Barack Obama with in an SUV with Barack Obama driving a white Ford Bronco. That would be hilarious. Yeah, since nobody went live tonight, I thought I would just phone around and go on StreamYard. Um, what does everybody else think? Do they agree with me that I think the mainstream media ought to be indicted? I just thought a spur of the moment, just do a show. But I look at it like this: the mainstream media, these people need to be taught a lesson. One thing I have to say, I thought of, okay, this is kind of exonerated Putin. Putin, from what we heard when Trump was president, Putin claimed he had nothing to do with it. Look at the fact, if Russia wanted to affect the election in 2016, they had information from Hillary's server. They could have come out and mentioned how Hillary was taking tranquilizers. Russia remained neutral. I think Russia actually probably would have preferred Hillary in a lot of ways because it'd be so much easier to take advantage of the U.S. with Hillary as president than having Trump as president. The thing I really think is going to happen is I think we might see certain higher up people. You can't say certain words I found on YouTube. We might see certain people do themselves in to avoid prosecution because you figure all these people are getting up in years. None of these people are going to spend the rest of their lives in any kind of a prison. Yeah, Dan Bongino had to know more. I mean, I'm starting to wonder more about him. Then look at it like this: Kash Patel got an award from Barack Obama when he was working, I guess, at the Department of Justice. But that doesn't mean Cash knew anything about it. Cash wants vengeance, basically. Cash is a man, I think, of principle. And Pam Bondi, you figure she's worked for some of the pharmaceutical companies, but then how do we know part of this wasn't to get some inside information? Hey, B Charming, how you doing tonight? I mean, that really annoys me when people lie about all this stuff that's going on. Hey, Harvest Merriman, because both of you missed it. You can see by the title. I think the mainstream media ought to all be indicted. Basically, you figure there's so many laws that have been violated. I've looked up. First of all, I don't know how to put stuff on the screen like other people. I think you need to pay for StreamYard, but all these people they need to pay for their crimes is what it comes down to. I do think that when people are indicted, then arrested, I foresee big problems in this country with insurgency. Um, and I think it's going to be from within with all the people that cross the border illegally. Then if you do a Google search, I've had it. From what I found out, listen to a certain report that Barack Obama's college records are sealed. I wonder, like, I wonder if since Trump is president and Pam Bondi is the attorney general, I would love to know if they've taken action to unseal those court records. Look at it like this: if somebody wanted to get into a college from a foreign country, especially if they're a black person, it's easier for them to get accepted than a black American in this country. I'm suspicious that Barack Obama's passport is going to show that he is a citizen of Kenya. And if people don't like it, they'll watch the video. The heck with them. Uh, the whole point I do stuff like this is to convey my points of view. I mean, I could be wrong, but there's stories of a woman that found the birth certificate was on a plane that crashed, and a scuba diver got her out of the plane, and someone took video of this with a cell phone, and the woman drowned. It seems like there's a pattern. Just like look what's going on with the Clintons. So many people that were going to testify the Clintons ended up dying. Then the police reports are stating that, well, it was just a robbery or something. Yeah, I agree with you, Orvis Merriman. I'm going to put that on the screen. Let's see. I got to get back to where chat is. And the thing I really wonder is, is Epstein still alive? I was on a forum called On Up looking at a video a few years ago from McAfee, and he was saying that the ringleader of this whole thing down there is the Clintons, and that's what I've been wondering. If that's the case, you figure a lot of the people on the left, no matter what the evidence is, you're never going to convince them. They're going to think it's all fake and it's all AI. Then another thing I heard on a local talk show, and I haven't been able to find it on the internet, is there's another whistleblower that found email that is cooperating with the Department of Justice that claims that Barack Obama wanted to assassinate President Trump in 2016. That doesn't surprise me one bit. I think he still might be alive too. And you figure, how come when Barack Obama was president, nobody gave a hoot about Epstein? People don't realize on the left that Trump has set everybody up. And let me see how I take this. I'm trying to figure out how to remove a comment from the screen. Let's see. Okay. Practice takes perfect. Yeah, you figure when Barack Obama was running for president, his brother said he remembers his birth over there in Kenya. In the McAfee video, I don't want to put first of all, you got to be a member to even watch it on and on up. He says that basically U.S. immigration is the biggest human trafficking organization in the world. And I think everybody here already knew that. But like I said before, what's going on, what reminds me is like the book of Esther too, how, the king it was in danger and how one of his people saved him. I'm just afraid something's going to happen to Trump. And look at it like this. Okay, the only Trump rally that was shown by CNN was the one in Butler, PA. It's as if CNN wanted to show a Trump rally where Trump was being assassinated. It's more than coincidence. CNN never showed any Trump rally ever when Trump was running for re-election in 2024. Well, I know he was questioning. To this day, I still question it. And if you talk to anyone that leans to the left, they just go ballistic over it. I said before when I did a video that there's evidence that Epstein was working for Israel too. But I still think Trump has set everyone up and how all this is going to come to fruition. If these people weren't prosecuted, there's going to be a public outcry of all the Trump supporters. Okay, that's pretty much, I'm trying to think of anything else I want to get a point across tonight. Then another thing, okay, all these earthquakes, I said on Bushcraft show last night, there were 300 earthquakes around Mount Rainier just in the past month. There's a normal amount, the average for Mount Rainier is 10. And has anybody heard about Dr. Ave Loeb from I think it's Harvard? He's very concerned about the comet. I think it's called I'd have to go look here for a second. That comet that is going to be coming around, he doesn't think it's a comet. That comet Atlas 3I, they think that thing that thing slowed down and speeded up, and it doesn't have a tail, and it's going to get very close to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. You figure this could all be God's doing. If that thing, if that thing gets too close, Avi Loeb, on the Sun Times, I found a story, and I couldn't find the paper to. I'm going to see if I can pull it up and put it on the screen somehow. Because I sent my son a paper, a story about all this, but this is not behaving like a comet. I hope the computer doesn't freeze trying to find this thing. There's more to this comet than meets the eye. Let me just see here. Then another thing about the comet, okay, back in the late 70s, the Star Blazers animated series, they had a series about the Comet Empire, where the scientists on Earth saw a comet in space and didn't think anything of it. And the Star Blazers took the space battleship. Yeah, it could be an asteroid. They went after, let me just see if I can put this on StreamYard. Hey, one of these days we ought to get a new computer. The thing's 11 years old in October. Let's see. I got to get back to StreamYard to try to put this on. Now, I can't figure out how to do this. Somebody showed me how to do this once about the story about the comet. But it's very interesting that the comet changed course. I'll read the story. The newly discovered Manhattan-sized interstellar object zooming through our solar system has been identified as a comet, but two Harvard scientists argue there is a reason to believe it's really an alien probe. NASA discovered 3I Atlas on July 1st, speeding through the inner solar system at 144,000 miles per hour. According to observations from the Atlas telescope in Chile, with experts clueless as to where it originated, Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb suggested in a new paper that the object, only the third interstellar object ever detected, could be intelligently directed alien craft observing Earth with possible hostile intentions. And if I go to click on the story, it's not available anymore. It's like there's so much stuff just being censored. The hypothesis in question is that 3-1 Atlas is a technological artifact and furthermore has active intelligence. If this is the case, then two possibilities follow. Dr. Loeb, Adam Droll, and Adam Hibbard, who wrote in a paper published on July 17. First, that its intentions are entirely benign, and second, they are malign. The experts' opinion suggesting ETs. And the thing is, one day I was just looking up comments and I found this story. The paper presented several anomalous characteristics of the object, which indicate that it is not a comet, but instead a directed craft. One of the most puzzling observations is that the object has significant non-gravitational acceleration, whilst having no cometary outgassing. Loeb wrote that the comet approaching surprisingly close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter with a probability of 0.005%, the paper claimed. Even though NASA shows a map, we don't know how close it's really going to get. Okay, 3I Atlas, low retrograde tilt would seemingly allow it to access our planet. If this would cooperate, the story's moving.